Video we're going to look at how to create a color splash effect in Photoshop. There are a few different ways to do this, and each one is slightly different, but basically you're working with duplicate layers, black and white imaging, and either erasing or masking. So the first way we'll look at how to do this is a destructive way. What we're going to do is duplicate our layer, and now we have two different layers. And what we'll do is on the top one, we'll make this into a black and white by doing a destructive image adjustment for black and white. Now you can change these sliders to adjust it the way you want and press OK. Now all you need to do is either use a selection and deleting tool, or you can just use the eraser to do it by hand. And what you're going to do is erase any of the areas where you want to have color. So as you can see, I can erase through the ground, and I will end up with the color splashing through those areas. Now another way to do this that might be a little more precise would be to use a selection tool to select those areas that you do want to have in color. And I'll just try to do this quickly. Get it the best you can. And if you go too far, remember you can hold Alt to subtract. I'm trying to just have the ground. And now that I have this area selected, right, let me get this sky here. You can just press delete, and now you're left with just certain areas in color and other ones not. And you can continue to go through, like I missed this tree, so I can go through and delete that and end up with color there. Okay, so that's a destructive way to do it. Now let's do the same thing, same area, but we'll go back and do it non-destructively. Now how we can do this is not even with a need to duplicate the layer. Instead of that, we'll create an adjustment layer for black and white, which you'll find right here, this black and white. Again, you can adjust these sliders or use the auto settings, create it the way you want. Now that we have this, we're going to create a layer mask that's already here. You can see this white box is the layer mask that comes with the adjustment layer. So what we can do here is using, again, either the paintbrush or a selection tool, we can use black to reveal the colored areas that are underneath. Alright, so in this case we'll go back through, do our selection with a quick selection. Again, doing the best we can. I'm doing this just really quickly just to illustrate what it should look like. Okay, now that I have this area filled in, what we'll do is simply do a fill. So you can right click with the selection tool and choose fill. You can also go to the edit menu and choose fill. Now instead of a pattern or content aware or any of this, we want to fill this in with black. When we do that, it doesn't fill it in with black, but it fills the mask with black. What that does is reveal to what's underneath, which is the colored layer. So the nice thing about this is you have your mask, you have this adjustment layer, you can always hide it, you can always change it later. When you're deleting, remember that those things are deleted permanently unless you undo it. Alright, so two different ways to create the same color splash effect on a picture.